So today, you're going to learn how to make a cell phone stand.
Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Get up, stand up for your rights.
Hi. So today we're going to be making a cell phone stand, right? It's a great thing, right? I can be on my Google Classroom doing work. I'm looking at my phone over here, untethered. I don't have to use my hands, and maybe I'm checking in on Zoom or Google Meet or whatever the DOE decides that we're using, right? But I'm able to kind of interface with two things at once, right? So kind of see the way this works. I could also put it sideways, right? That's kind of a good option if you want it to be horizontal. So what I have here is I just built a prototype. I built like a model, right? And this one used simple materials, cardboard. Maybe you have an old box that you could get. Maybe if you don't have like something from Amazon or something that's shipped to your house, or you find something outside, or maybe you have an old like cereal box or something like that. Now that cardboard's going to be a little bit thinner, you might have to layer it up a little bit. But so a box, you need something to cut the box with, scissors, a knife, a box cutter, something like that, something to cut it with. A ruler would be cool, but you don't necessarily need it, any sort of straight edge. And something to hold it together. So glue. I use glue on this one. Like you use wood glue, Elmer's glue. If you have a glue stick, that's amazing. If you don't have glue, I built another prototype, the exact same thing, where I used tape. So you could use any sort of tape, packaging tape, duct tape. So that's it. So cell phone stand. We're going to build it together. We're going to walk through step by step how to build this specific model. You might have a better idea. You might kind of look at this and say, you know what? When I'm designing and engineering and building this cell phone stand, maybe I have some other ideas that are a little bit more functional for my specific type of cell phone, or maybe something that I just think is more creative, that's more aesthetically pleasing. So let's get started. Okay, so we're all set up here. I went around my house. I found all sorts of different materials, in different places. You guys don't need all of this stuff, but these are some of the things that will work. So first, the thing we do need, I found a box, right? It's just like a old shipping box. I found something to cut the box with, right? I could use scissors. I also had a box cutter and X-Acto blade. I had those things in my house. But it could be as simple as scissor and something to put the box together. So I found glue. I also had tape. Maybe like a pencil or pen, so I can make some marks. And a straight edge is helpful. You could use the straight edges that exist on the box, but I found a ruler. A ruler's nice, or you might find a book works as a straight edge. I found a book about underwater dogs that makes that's a straight edge, and it's also it's an amazing book about underwater dogs. So those are the things. Those are the basic materials you need. Now, if I had the bare minimum, right, I'd just say, okay, all I have is Dave, all I have is this. I have like a pencil. I found some tape and a box. That's cool. That's good, right? And scissors. I'm sorry, and scissors as well. Or maybe I just found like scissors and glue, or I found a box cutter, scissors. So any combination of these things. Something you need a box, something to cut it with, something to put it together, and maybe something to make some marks, right? So those are your bare materials. So let's get started with this. The first thing we're going to do is we want to cut up our box a little bit. We need to cut it into pieces. So I have my box cut up into pieces, right? And I think this is going to work extremely well. I have way more material than I need. I can probably make 10 cell phone stands or more if I wanted to out of this box, right? We'll zoom in on this and we'll start making our cell phone stand. What I'd like to do and what I'm going to attempt to do is demo making this with both glue and tape, so we have a good idea of how to do this. So I'm going to take one of my pieces of cardboard, and I might as well. I'm going to use my phone. I'm going to kind of take my phone and say, all right, I want to make this like the width of my phone. So I'm going to cut a bunch of strips that are exactly the width of the phone. So first thing I'll do is I made a mark there. I'll grab a straight edge. Maybe I'll use my dog book straight edge and try to make it as even as possible. A lot of times if I make 2 marks with the phone, it just shows it'll be more even, right? So making a mark there, maybe for the purposes of, for you guys, I'll use a marker, just so you could see what I'm doing. So I have this line right here. So I'm gonna cut this. I could use a blade. In this case, I'll use scissors. Okay, so I have this. This is going to be like the width of my cell phone. It fits on there nicely. I'd like to get some more pieces that are exactly this width. This is kind of a nice thing to work with, because I could see when I'm working with this, all the pieces I cut are exactly that width, right? So let's do that. Maybe I'll speed this up when I do the actual video.
Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up.
Okay, so I've cut my pieces, right? I just cut all of these even pieces to make my cell phone stand out of. And I have my prototype here that I'm going to use as so I can remember my design. So I'm going to start with one. The first thing I want to do is I want to build this base. Now the base can go out a little bit past this. So I might mark my base, and maybe using the phone is a good mark for me. So I'm going to say I want it to be not quite as long as the phone, maybe right about there. I'm going to use a straight edge. The cool thing now is I have all of these other straight edges, so I can just make a straight edge right there, right? And I know where to cut this. Let me see if that's long. That seems pretty good to me. So I'm going to cut this, and this is going to be the base. Now everything I do, I'm going to do it twice. Everything that I do, because I want to build one using glue, and I'm going to build one using tape for you guys. So here we go. Things are going to get. Like, in order to fit my phone in there, I have this ledge that goes up, and it's like 2 pieces long. Now I could cut like 2 pieces and just stack them and glue them or tape them on there, but in this case I want to do a fancy technique, right? So I'm going to take a straight edge here, and I'll use this as my straight edge, and I want like this to fold over. So I'm going to kind of make 2 marks, and this is kind of the width of the cardboard, or a little bit more than the width of the cardboard. Now I could do this in 2 ways. I could just kind of lightly cut it with a razor, or I can even go in, and I don't know if you can see, there's like these grooves, and my scissors like fit in there. I could kind of cut that out on both sides, right? And that'll eventually peel out. Now I can fold both of these over. They fold over nicely because I removed that little section there. Now if I didn't want to be fancy like that, I could just like cut a strip like that and tape it right on. I'm gonna do something like that. One of them, I'm gonna use glue. One of them I'm going to use glue. Make this our glue one. Kind of going across with glue right there. And I'm going to kind of glue that down. I just smooth it out with my fingers, right? And glued right down there. Alright, that feels good to me. If I really wanted to, I could take a piece of tape and kind of hold that down with the tape. And this other one, I'm going to use tape. So I'm taking my tape. I'll kind of smooth it down there. Before I fold it over, I might trim it up with my scissors. All right. Now this, it kind of can slip over there, so I'm going to do one more lip. Now I have this scrap here, which is fine, and I'm just going to kind of make a mark. How wide was that? It was right about there. And I'll cut two of those based off of this, so I can use it for both of these, right? Okay, so we're back. I have these two pieces. One of them, this is going to go on the tape one, and this is going to go on the glued surface, right? So I'll start with the glued surface again.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up.
All right, so boom. I have two bases. I have the glued base, and I have my taped base. Now I'm looking at my prototype again, and I'm kind of thinking I want to get this back piece. Now I don't know if you could see in there, but I put a little brace in there so we can glue something on there. Now I want to figure out, where do I want my phone to fit, right? So I need to figure out this kind of width of the phone. So I might set the width right on here. Kind of say, all right, I need about this much space, right? And I know that this is also going to take up space, so I need to back up to right about there. So I need a piece that's going to fit. It's going to be this like wedge piece that's going to fit right there. So I'm going to kind of measure that and say, all right, that needs to fit in there. I have something that's right about there. That's perfect. I'm going to cut two of those, one for each.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights.
I can see where I marked it on here, right? So I'm going to do it identical on the other side. So this is going to hold me up there. You can kind of see it's going to brace this, so there's like something for it to glue onto, and also something that fits onto the back. It's kind of like a little support. So I'm going to glue this one on. Ooh. I'm paying attention where my mark was, because I need enough room for my cell phone. My cell phone to fit in there, and there's another piece of cardboard that's going to fit in there. So that'll fit on there. And then this one, I'm going to mirror. I'm going to just set it right on there based on that, and I'm using tape approximately right about there. Okay, so I have my two bases. I have a glued base and a tape base. Now I want to come up with, I want to make this surface. So I want to pick like a nice piece of material. I mean, there's like ones like, I see that one's kind of wrinkled. I could find like one like this that's kind of nice, right? So I'm gonna do that. I'm going to kind of see, when I did this one, I found one that's like, I found that it like, the phone slides in there, and I liked it coming up about like 3/4 of the way. I felt like it was very secure that way, right? So I'll take this and I'll kind of mark it at about 3/4, and I'll cut that, and it'll become two pieces like this. Two pieces, cool. So those are my back plate pieces. I could see the way those fit in here, and it'll hold this. It'll hold the phone in there. I also need one for the other side, so that's great. I need to figure out like, where is the back going to sit, right? I can see on this one, I just kind of went up a little bit of the way, and I can just kind of measure that and say, you know, I think it's about that size. So I'll take a nice piece of cardboard. I'll say maybe it's right about there, the back. So I'm going to cut two pieces just like that. Here's my back pieces. I have all my stuff. I have, excuse me, I have these two fronts and these two backs. So I can see to put this together to make it look like this thing. This is the front where the nodule thing is, and that's the back right there, and that angles pretty nicely, right? So I'll kind of put all of this together. I'm gonna do the one with the glue first. I'm gonna put like a nice generous bead of glue in here. Maybe you can't see that direction. Nice generous bead of glue in there. Maybe I'll even put a little on the back. And I'm the type of guy, I don't mind getting a little messy. So I'll kind of like use my finger to kind of wipe that clean. That kind of sticks in place for right now. It's not gonna be good enough. I mean, that would fall apart eventually unless I have a brace, right? So I'm gonna go to the back. I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna put my brace on there. Nice generous bead of glue. I put my brace right on there. You can see those things are starting to angle on there. And then finally, I'm gonna take a bead of glue and just really get it on there. And I'll use my finger and just wipe it into that seam, right? So that's it. If you're using glue and you get to this point, don't be impatient. It needs to set up. It'll fall apart. It won't be as sturdy as this one because this had time to dry, and depending on the type of glue you use will take a different amount of time to set up. So that's that one. Let's put the tape one together. So it's going to be the same idea. Right. So boom. So I have both of these together. I have a glued one. I really think like the glue is like a really clean look, really clean way to go. And then I have this tape one, which is also looks good. You know, it's very functional. It's also ready to use right away. The tape version. The glue one I'll let set up, but eventually I have this finished one here, like a cooking show. Right? So I have that finished one there. So that's it. I think there's like limitless options with this. You can take this design and run with it. You can improve upon it. You can do different things to it. You can color these. You can paint them. You can do whatever you want with these. And I'll include some examples of other like really cool cardboard cell phone stands. So there it is, cell phone stands. Really looking forward to seeing your projects, and thanks for watching.
Don't give up the fight.